Good morning, Keith Hayes, broadcasting from Lewes in East Sussex in the United Kingdom. Broadcasting primarily to people in Lewes, mainly to people in the communities, the small towns, Battle to Brighton, but because we are on the World Wide Web, wherever you are, you're welcome to yell and shout with us against what we consider to be naughty things. Well, this morning we only took 3 minutes to get from the television studio to the main studio, and we actually ran over a minute on television, so therefore we got it down to 2 minutes this morning. We're getting better. We will eventually make sure that we start radio on time, and we do apologise for not doing that. Anyway, those of you who are used to me ranting and raving, it is a rant and a rave show. We try to call the shots as we see them, and we hope that they stir people to action. And mainly it's against government, not against government, but we like to try and keep government in its proper place. First of all, the executives and the local MPs, not MPs, well, a local MP as well, I suppose, but local councillors, their term is public servants. And they don't behave like it in the main, not most of them. The Lewes District Council the other night was just it was surreal. Is one or two people bob up and then they make some sort of a hickey point, and somebody pulls a string and the entire cabinet and the ruling body, if you like, the largest party, which in this case are the Conservatives, all rise as one and put up their hands. No dissenters. Oh my God, you'll be banned from the party. You'll be whipped out if you dissent. It was comedy. It was a comedy. I mean, I didn't take a camera in. I'm going to sneak a camera in the next time I go, because you couldn't make it up. You really couldn't. I mean, it's one of the funniest things. And mind you, the rest of it almost put me to sleep, because the main topic of conversation was dog poo. There's lots of other things going on, of course, but dog poo was the main topic of debate and conversation. But I say debate because there is little debate. And the leader of the main party, the head of cabinet, I suppose he would be called, because I don't know nowadays. And let me say now, cabinet, chair, they're inanimate objects. And this business of a cabinet, I mean, first of all, what pomposity. You're not big enough, chaps, and you're not important enough to model yourselves on Westminster. So forget a cabinet. If you're going to have something, call it a committee. And even then, I'm worried about committees, because what's happening is things are being discussed not only in secret from the public, from us, the people you're supposed to represent, but also from your colleagues. And it became obvious after two independents, Ruth O'Keefe, who made some very, very funny and pretty speeches. I mean, they were amusing, but by the same token, she pinpricked the ruling government. She is one of about 6 or 7 independents, and they've got about 20 or so. All of whom jump up when the string is pulled. They were just like puppets. Really, you've no idea what it's like. Funny. Oh dear. But they and Stephen Caitlin, who's another independent, who was in business on the high street and was forced out because of high rents and high taxes, high business taxes, and he decided he would stand for council. And he is also a thorn in their flesh, and he's very direct. But he made the point the other night: is listen, cabinet. Why do you discuss things in secret? Because we don't even know. So if they don't know, if councillors don't know, how in heaven's name are the rest of us? So actually, democracy is under threat. It's under threat from our elected politicians. Now we've got a chance to actually do something about this. And okay, I'm a small voice. You know, we're going perhaps to 200 or 300 people at the moment. We're growing, but some of those 200 or 300 are abroad. And I do know from the response I'm getting from abroad that we are not the only country in the world and not the only district that are going through this. The world is worried about some of these things. So don't think that we're isolated and what we're doing is we're shouting into the wind or we're shouting because we have just got a local issue. Not a bit of it. This is a global issue. And people, particularly in so-called free democracies, are worried about the decisions that are made without anybody ever saying anything about them. Okay, there have got to be some secrets. 007 has got to be able to go and perform his evil deeds or seduce his ladies or whatever he does as 007 nowadays without us knowing. That I understand. But that's about where we draw the line. There are lots of other things that we should be made aware of, and we're not. And I don't see that happening in Westminster from either of the parties that are in power, and I most certainly don't see it happening from the third party, which would like to return to power and which blew it. And it's not happening here. First of all, it's my view that party politics has no place in local government. Let's get rid of it. Let's get independence. Let's get individuals who are concerned about us. First of all, about Lewis, then Lewis within the environment of Battle to Brighton, and then their own local residents within the context of them being part of Lewis, because there are local issues that need to be addressed. No question. And of course, amongst those people that I've just slammed, there will be hard-working councillors, people who are trying desperately to do things, but because the system, which is encouraged by the cabinet, this inanimate cabinet, inanimate chair, for God's sake, let's go back. You know, words are so important. The spoken word, the written word. Our society has always depended upon them, and the internet is destroying it. And councils and people who want to grasp power are taking advantage of that and using silly terms to take away the importance of what they do. Chair, cabinet. You know, that's nonsense. What happens to good used chairs and good used cabinets is they end up in junk shops. And if you're not careful, that's where you're going to end up. Cabinet of Lewis District Council and chair of Lewis District Council. I don't know whether I can be charged with libel because I haven't mentioned your names, but I suppose they can be identified, couldn't they? But nonetheless, it's silly. It's nonsensical. Let's get back to good, open, honest debate. And those people who are in the council, and some of them as part of the governing party, if I want to call it that, they are saying the same thing, is, no, there is no debate. They do what they're told. Well, that's not good enough. That's not why we elect people. So we've got a chance on May the 2nd to change that, to get people in there who will actually debate. That's what our society in Britain is all about. Open debate. Wonderful debate. Even the Americans don't like the way that we debate, but they admit that this is the most open form of government that you possibly have. Prime Minister's question times. Well, nobody is questioning the cabinet. Nobody is questioning the chair. Let's get back to good, feisty people debate. Ho, Keith, aren't you flying this morning? Yes, you are, but you're a bit upset. And, it's about time that we actually... here we go. Let's kiss the sky and see if we can calm me down. There. Did that calm me down? No, it did not. I'm really quite disappointed in what's become of democracy, locally and nationally. And when I see people like Ken Clarke, and others, not just Ken Clarke, but because he is so long-standing in the House of Commons, I'm surprised that he can say things like this, but also because he's so easily recognisable to an old buffer like me. Old buffer be damned, I'm an old fart and I'm an old curmudgeon, and I know that. That's okay, because that's what I sound like, and you can discount a lot of what I say because I'm that. But he is too. And when he can stand up in the House of Commons and say, people should leave us alone, we know what we're doing because we are so experienced in governance, that to me sounds the death knell of democracy. Because people like Ken and most of the other people in the House of Commons have done nothing but be politicians. They have not a damn clue what it's like to find that you're overdrawn at the bank. They haven't a damn clue to know what it's like when you can't afford a loaf of bread for your kids. Okay, we're not in a poor society. I don't go for that either. But the fact of the matter is, sometimes we get cash shortages. Sometimes we get turned down for things because of a poor track record with payments or whatever. Late payments, mostly. And that's another issue with the banks. I'm not going to take up today. But, you know, they don't face these things. They live in a privileged bubble. They get taken from home to office free, no matter where the office is. And if it's by train, first class, they get paid astounding amounts of money to drive or to travel with a fueled car or vehicle. They have subsidised meals, they have subsidised bars. They feel like going to Hawaii or something on some thought-up mission. Off they go. No, they haven't a clue what it's all about. We, the people, understand what it's all about, Ken. And we, the people, those of you down at Lewis District Council who are doing so much to operate in secret, we, the people, understand what it's like to live day to day. We, the people. We, the people. How many politicians have said that? Because they meant it. Well, let's hear a few of you saying, we, the people.